This is typically what an exterior door will look like. You'll have your threshold here, and then these pieces of trim butt up to the threshold on both sides, and then your storm door sits on top of this trim. So once you get the measurement of the door, you can get your storm door. And I have mine right here. It's an Emco, and you can see it's a 400 series. It's a white door with nickel hardware, the door handle and stuff, and it's a 32 by 80. So I like to put this down flat on sawhorses like this. It makes it way easier to work on. And then I'm going to cut along where it says to cut and open this up and start the install. All right, once you got your door opened up here, make sure you got all your stuff. Inspect the door, make sure the window's not broken or any scratches or big dents or anything. Make sure you're happy with that. And then make sure you have your instructions. These ones were hidden under the door over here in case you're looking for those. I still recommend reading these instructions. In fact, they're really great. Since the last time I installed a door, these have improved drastically. They have all colored pictures and everything, step by step. So the installation since the last time I put a door in has changed a little bit. They made it easier. I've probably done about 200 doors in my lifetime, and they're all kind of similar. I'm going to show you the new way that they recommend. They give you these pieces to help out. So I'm going to do it that way because it does look a little easier. Now, one thing you'll notice is there's no door handle on this already. You're going to have to install it, but that means that this can swing left or right. And I'm going to make it so my hinge is on this side. Now that you've decided which side is the hinge side and which side is the handle side, you got to kind of look at it as like this is the inside of the door. You can tell because of the screws here, and the other side has no screws and has like a nice molding around the outside of the window. So picture this from the inside of the house. I know that my hinge is going on this side, and it can be confusing. So make sure that this weather stripping is touching the inside of the door like this, and just make sure you're putting the hinge on the right side in the right way. So when you go to attach this, you just turn it like this, and you want to attach these brackets into the door like that. Now that you have your hinge side, you want to look, and you'll see bolts all along the side here. You want to leave the top one and the bottom one in. Sorry, they're more like screws. And then you want to take this screw out and this screw out, the two middle screws. Now you want to line this up right here and measure this, and have the top of the door have the hinge being held out about 3/16 of an inch from the top. And then we're going to hold this up here and mark these holes so we can attach the hinge to the door. I've marked 3/16 of an inch right here. And these go in just like that. Mark that, like this one. And they actually give you a drill bit, which they never did before. That's one of the improvements that they made. And I'm going to pre-drill these. I'm going to go in about an inch. I'm going to hold my hinge here and make sure all of these pieces right here are flipped the right way. You don't want to attach this and have them get stuck. And make sure you use the right screws. These ones are unpainted. I think they're about an inch long. That started. Okay. So you want it to look something like that. Held about 3/16 of an inch away, and I got two started. That'll make it easier to attach these, hold them up here, pre-drill, and get the screws in. Sorry for the wind. Not a good idea to do a storm door on a windy day either, but that's what I'm doing. So now the hinge should work just like this. Now on the bottom of the door, you'll see this door sweep. It has this little channel here where you want to slide in this weather stripping. So you want to just get it started like that, and then pull that the whole way like that. Now I'm going to take some pliers and try and sneak in here and pinch this. Just crimp the end of that so it doesn't move, and do the same thing on the other side. Now you can trim this off on each side. Now you want to center this sweep. Just gonna tap it a little bit. Make sure it's even on both sides. I'll make sure it's tight against the door. And I'm gonna pre-drill right at the bottom of this notch right here. Don't want to go through the door, be careful. Same thing on this side. Now I'm going to install these small painted screws. And on the other side, on the opposite of the hinge, this is one of the new things they include, and this will help with installation. It'll help to sit the door on the bottom of the threshold of the door. That goes on this side. That. And here's another new handy thing that they included. This goes on the handle side, opposite of the hinge, about 6 inches up from the bottom of the door. And it just sits in like that, and that'll help to tell you where this door should go and help with installation. This will rest up against that molding. Now before we install the door on the hinge side, I'm just going to install this piece over where, if you were going to put the handle on this side, there's a hole there. So this piece goes right here to cover that up. Perfect. So I'm going to grab the door, set this on the bottom, and then butt this up tight against the trim and check for plumb and put my screws in the hinge side. Here we go.